Teresa. I'm the owner and artisan at NTS Design Co. I am a content creator for Dixie Belle Paint Company. I go live with you guys every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. to do some fun painting tutorials. As you guys are popping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, all of the things. I'd be happy to answer any questions Dixie Belle related. And so today I have a fun little project with you. So I've picked up this adorable little MCM side table, which I'm completely obsessed with. And so you can follow me on all my social media. On IG, I just sanded this down like 30 minutes ago. So you can see that process and how I went and completely sanded it with my Festool sander. I used 2 of them. I used my Rotex 90, which is my stripper, and then I used another one, my RTS 400, to kind of smooth it out so it's not so rough because I strip with 80 grit. And then I went back and sanded it down with 100. And it's pretty smooth, so I'm not gonna go much further than that just because I want my wood to absorb it. With these older pieces, sometimes you have to go with a rougher grit because it opens the pores. I don't know what my hair is doing today, but it is not wanting to do what I want it to do. So as you're sanding, you want to open up your pores of your wood. That's what absorbs your stain. If you sand with too high of a grit, it will close your pores and your stain will sit on top of it, which can happen a lot. I get a lot of questions about that. So if you have any other questions about like sanding and stuff like that, drop them in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. Good morning, Patty. How are you? Okay, seriously, this piece of hair just wants to do this. I don't know what my hair is doing today, but it ain't doing what I want. So I sanded her down. I will be putting this little Amazon piece of hardware on it. I tried this really cool, I save all my hardware. I'm a hardware hoarder. So I found a really cool copper piece that came off of an MCM piece that I put new knobs on, and I don't like it. So we're gonna go with the little black square. I figured that would be super cute, very subtle. I don't know, I may find something else. But today, what I want to do is we're just gonna do a wash over this. My nose is itchy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be using the Voodoo Gel Stain. This is a water-based stain, okay? And I'm going to be heavily watering it down even more. I never use these things full strength. I like a more transparent look. I want it to look more like this, but toned down, if that makes sense. So we're going for this look. I just finished a piece of furniture. It's actually back there. It's not the blue one, it's another neutral one. And I did that on the top. I used this and it just gave it that like nice wood grain. I want to be able to see the wood grain through it. I don't want to cover it. I want it to be more opaque, and that is why I water it down some. So again, Voodoo Gel Stain. This is an Au Naturel. You're gonna need a cup. You're gonna need some water. And how I like to apply this is with the Dixie Belle sponge. I like to wear gloves just because my hands are in everything all day long, and I may not necessarily want to scrub out stain from my fingernails. And if you're using a darker stain, it helps too. So like I said, you can follow me on IG and you can see all of how I do things. I post a lot on there, and that's that. So get some gloves. This is the inside. She's looking pretty rough. I'm going to put contact paper on that just to make it look nicer. And I'll be adding some Big Mama's butter to the drawer slides to make it not so janky. Because it is an old piece of furniture. So, and I got that down the street from a consignment shop that I like to shop in that my friend owns. She always has all the good stuff. I actually have an MCM desk coming in, and I just picked up 3 pieces of furniture this weekend, and I still have a side table that I need to finish. I'm the world's worst person. When I have one piece of furniture and I finish it and I have to create another one, it ends up sitting like this for months. There's a stack of wood you bend on top of it, the drawer, the contact paper, it's mudded. All I really have to do is just do the top and the wood you bend, but the wood you bend takes forever and I don't want to do it. So it's just sitting there, and it'll probably sit there for another 2 weeks before I decide to do anything with it. Or someone will want to buy the other pair that I have with it, and then I'll be rushed to do it. So, artist life, right? I get bored. I already did it. I want to do it again. That's why I hate doing pairs. And I hate like doing a dresser set. You'll never catch me doing an entire set of furniture the same. I can't do it. I'll make it like matchy, mismatchy, but I'm not gonna do it the same. So we're gonna use the Gator Hide sponge, and it has these awesome little ridges so that you can hold it. Again, you don't have to wear gloves. It's water-based, but I do. Give this a good shake. Make sure the top is closed. I have shaken this before and it went pa-choom across my shop. So you want to give this a good shake. Make sure it's all mixed up. I did not grab anything to mix that with. All right, let me see if I have a stick or something over here so I can mix. All right, perfect. So we're gonna unscrew the top, lay that down. I'm doing the entire piece of furniture with you guys, so this is a one and done today. I'll have to seal it off camera because obvious reasons. It'll be wet. We'll use about that much. I'll be using satin clear coat to seal it, or I might use, actually, you know what, I'm not going to, that's a lie. I will use hemp oil. So Dixie Belle sells Howdy Doody hemp oil, and it's amazing, I love it, and it's a great sealer. Now we're gonna add some water to water this down. We're just gonna pour about that much. I don't measure, no need to. We're gonna mix it up. And it's very, very watery, which is what I want. I'll do the drawer with you first. I just wanna make sure it's good and mixed. All right, grab a rag. Wipe that off. Okay, so let's do this drawer first. Make sure you guys can see all of the things. And you see that buffet back there? How pretty is she? All dressed up. That's what we worked on for the past like month, I feel like. I feel like it was a month. Can you use stain over Dixie Belle? You sure can. You can use that. You can use glaze. You can use wax. You can use any of the things. There's no rules. It'll be beautiful, Judy. I have a little rag just on my leg because I'm going to the gym today. As soon as I leave here, I'm going for a run and I don't want to wear work clothes. So I'm lazy. Here's my sponge. Now, I don't have a mister bottle. If you had a mister bottle, I don't have one on hand, you could mist this and then squeeze out the excess, or you could just use it dry and you're gonna just soak it in there for just a second. You're gonna pull it out and you're gonna squeeze out, this is why I wear gloves, squeeze out all the excess, can I just get that on me? Stain, okay? So now we're going to bring you guys in so close. All right, and we're just gonna wipe it. All right, more, because that wasn't enough. I squeezed it all out. There wasn't anything left. Let's try again. All right, so enough to where it's still drippy. Can you see the difference? So it's like, it's very subtle. I'm taking the orange away. That's what we're doing here. So see here? I know it's not a lot, okay? But that's all I want. I just want it to look the same and less orange. So this is not dark enough to stain the inside, but it is dark enough for me to do this part. And then we're just gonna wipe. I don't want this little like this, so you can use your rag on the edges if you want to. This is why I heavily wring it out, because I don't want that look. So you're just gonna come all the way across, and you're gonna go all the way across, and then it does that again. So you're gonna go back again until it doesn't do that. All right, that's what I want. Very, very subtle. Now I'm gonna take my drawer out and we're gonna do the sides. So this is where I'm gonna have to be tricky with this. Okay, hey, I'm on a cord or something. There we go. So now we're gonna do the sides so they match. The sides, you can definitely tell the difference right away. We're covering up that orange, dingy, bleh. And sometimes you just have to play with it. Sometimes the sponge is gonna do what it wants to do, so it's gonna take a few little swipes to get it the way that you want it. I'm gonna put this rag on my leg because I do not want stain on my leg. I already have enough on me. Come on. And I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna hold underneath. Okay, and then we're just going to get a teensy bit more on my sponge. we're gonna offload, squeeze out, whatever you wanna call it, the nose edges, okay? And now, see the difference? You can really tell the difference here. All right, and we're just gonna keep wiping until I get it covered the way that I want. Okay, I'm gonna do the tops of the drawers and the back. And then that's it. So now I'm gonna let this dry on its side. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I dripped on it, so I've gotta go back over it again. Okay, there's that. Now we're gonna work on this part. I'm gonna do the top last, okay? So we're gonna do this right here and see how it just took away that orange. You can see the difference, I hope. All right, I'm not worried about the inside. I still have to worry about that. I'm gonna clean that all out. We're just getting rid of the orange. Back it up a little bit so I can reach. And a little bit goes a long way. This is why I don't use a whole lot of this product, and I like to water it down. You could do one or more coats if you'd like. Just remember, if you're gonna use a lot of this product, it's going to show. So you wanna make sure that you use nice, even strokes when you're doing it. Otherwise, it will show and it'll streak. There's a cobweb on my finger. Okay, so now we're gonna come in here. Very subtle. For TV purposes, I guess Tobacco Road would have been better, but I didn't want to use a dark stain. So now we're gonna come on this side. We're gonna come back in, you're gonna dip your sponge into your cup. You're gonna pull your sponge out of your cup, and then you're just gonna give it a good squeeze. I'm gonna put this down here so it doesn't drip on the top. Just one coat, Patty. I want it to be very translucent. I just wanna make sure I'm covering the orange. If I saw that I needed more than one coat, I could do that, but I only want to do one coat. Okay, so there's that part. Now we're gonna turn her this way and get the inside leg before I forget. And then come around. This is the tricky part. So if you're using a lot of product, when you're moving it around and it's not a flat, even surface, you're gonna be able to tell. And also I'll scrub it on there like this sometimes. So that's another reason why I don't like to use a lot of product. If you guys follow me, you would know that I paint very thinly. I don't use a lot of product when I'm working. With that being said, yes, Patty, if it didn't give me the desired effect on the first coat, I could go back and do a second coat. But as you can see from right here to right there, that's very orange. You'll be able to tell better right here, okay? So we're just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take my sponge. There's plenty of product in here. I probably won't even use it all, honestly. So I'm not worried about making sure that it's very heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna do this side and leave this side so you guys can see. I'm just gonna come across that top. And then I'm gonna come up in here, and then we're gonna wipe down. You could go more than one pass, but you just wanna make sure that your pass is smooth, otherwise you're gonna be able to see it, which is why I don't like to use a lot of product. I've said that 10 times. Okay, so here's the difference. It's very subtle, but that's the look that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm gonna come on the inside, and then over, down, down. Come in this part, just knock that orange off. And there's not a lot of orange on this piece, which makes me very happy because no one likes orange. I'm not a fan. Natural sells right now, it's very popular. In the space that I'm at, they sell a lot of MCM in there, which is why I was drawn to this piece, but I love MCM to begin with. Again, you can just scrub this part, scrub it on, right? It's just the product, and then you're gonna very carefully All right, and you're gonna take any spots that you see where it's piled up. Like on these legs, I can tell. You can let the wood absorb it in for a second. That's very helpful. And then you can come back and just kind of pull it off. So it gives it that nice bleached look without having to use all the chemicals. Do the bottom part, yes. Sorry, my head's in the way. I don't want to mess this up. I want this to be a one and done so I can bring it up to my booth space later on. I'm not having to worry about it. I'm going to do the back now. Straight across. Okay. Come back to my cup full of stain. Squeeze in there. Get the excess out. And if there's a lot of product, which there is, you can come and do the bigger space first because you're going to offload a lot of that product. And then come back. You'll get a smoother finish. Okay. And then you can wipe the excess off and then come straight down. Again, you can see right here, we don't want that look. Okay. Making sure I didn't miss anything. I'll grab this inside leg. Sorry if my head's in the way. Sometimes it's kind of hard to film and do the things. Thank you. Was it giving you anxiety? You're funny. All right. There's that. Perfect. See, this is super easy, and like I said, it's very subtle, but it's just enough to knock off what we don't want on here. And come down, squeeze. Very much so, you're funny. Okay, we're gonna offload some of that product in these crevices. Let that absorb in for a second. Come straight down. Sure, I'm not making any crazy marks anywhere. All right, now come offload that. Get our edges. If it's still too much, you can feel free to use your rag, but it's gonna leave those little rag marks, which I'm not really a fan of. So I rather just sit here and wipe it 400 times because, you know, whatever. I'll get the look that I want eventually. Okay, so now we're back around to the front again. And now we're just gonna check to see any areas that I look like I might wanna put a little bit more product on. Okay. I'm gonna put the drawer back in since I've done that part. It's gonna dry darker. Okay, so when your wood is wet, it's more red. So do know that this is gonna dry just a little bit darker, okay? And now I'm gonna come back around this way and just kind of go over again and make sure I didn't miss any craziness. I'm I'm gonna do this inside part. Stain all over my leg. Okay. We're gonna dip in. And I'm dipping the sponge into watered down Voodoo Gel Stain. And we are taking the orange off of this little piece of furniture. It's very subtle, but just enough to make it nice and neutral. And give it that really pretty, creamy, bleached, desired look that everybody wants these days. Without having to breathe it in, without having to risk the wood. When you're bleaching your wood, you dry your wood out so it becomes brittle. This is not going to do that. Okay, so now we're gonna do the top. We're gonna dip our sponge in again and offload some of that product. I'm gonna stand up, so I may have to move. Well, I don't need to have a head. You don't need to see my head. You just need to see what I'm doing. You can really tell the difference up here. And see how I'm just going back and forth and letting that work into the wood without giving it crazy streaks. And if you need it to give it a second to absorb, it can do that too. There's a lot of product on there. You don't want to overwork it too much because then it's just going to make a mess. So you could go in circles. You literally can do whatever you want as long as your last strokes, excuse me, are nice and smooth. Doesn't matter how it gets on there, just get it on, and then nice, even strokes. Make sure there's no crazy puddles. And for those that just popped on, when this is finished drying, because this is a water-based product, I'm gonna let it dry overnight just because I've really oversaturated it with the water since I watered it down. I'll let this dry overnight, depending on your humidity, wherever you are. You'll be able to tell if it's dry. I will seal this with hemp oil. Or you can use a satin clear coat, you can use gator hide, you can use whatever you want to use with it. I don't know, I may not use the oil. I feel like the oil might make it darker. I haven't decided. I may seal it just with satin clear coat. I'm partial to that. It gives it a nice sheen and a good coat of protection. This one little spot doesn't want to take it. This is also, again, I went over this in the beginning. I sanded this with 80 grit to strip off the finish that was on here. And then I went back over it with 100. If you close your pores too much in your wood by sanding, as you're sanding with, that's enough of that. As you're sanding your wood with your different grits, you're opening up the pores to your wood. And the higher the grit, the more you're closing the pores in your wood. So that can happen. Yeah, easy peasy, right? Super easy. So that's done. Like seriously, shortest live ever in the universe because I thought that was gonna take way longer. So that's that. This is done. We're gonna let this dry. I'll seal this. May or may not. I have a little, okay, let me ask your opinion. So here's this one, right? It's just a black square. I also have this. I didn't think about that. Hold on one second, guys. Bear with me. To make it super stinking cute and boho, I also have this. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I feel like that would be cute, right? Don't yell at me. All right, there's that. Now, the boho one is nice. I think so too. All right, for those that want to know, washer first. Why is it doing that? Well, you don't, it has a nut on there, but you don't need it. It's random. I'm kind of digging that, right? Is that the vibe we're going for today? I didn't screw it all the way on because I don't want it to mess up the finish underneath. I kind of am feeling that one. You can put stain over it. Just know that it's a clay base, and so it's going to absorb it a lot. So if you're just using it to like age it in certain areas, it'll look really cool. But I wouldn't like heavily saturate it. Less is more. But the clay will absorb it more than any other paint because it is more porous. The Terra is the most absorbent because it's clay, and then the chalk mineral paint because it's chalk, and then the silk it's not very absorbent at all actually because it has the top coat in it. So just know that. You love that? Okay, yeah, I think that's super cute. So she's done. I just have to put in some drawer liner. I was gonna decoupage the inside of it, but nah, I don't wanna do that. I couldn't find one that I liked. So this is what we're doing. I have a French provincial piece that we can be starting on next week, or I have 2 side tables that we can start on that look like they're from 1980, but I think that I can make them like a funky, cool vibe once we're done with it. And maybe one day I'll finish this dresser next to me. We'll see. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry it was such a short live this week, but she literally took like 10 minutes to finish. So I'm going to let her dry. I'm going to go for a run and let that dry and come back and seal it probably tomorrow. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys next Wednesday, and we'll either be working on a matching side table, or we'll be working on a cute little French provincial piece that I think I'm going to strip it and probably do some sort of really funky, cool thing to make it match the dresser that's in my booth, because it's the same type. It's that Drexel, like, pretty cool. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. If you guys don't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you followed me on all the socials at NTS Design Co. And I'll catch you guys next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Say bye, little dresser.